never talked to the IRS, so I don't know what to send. They sent me a letter saying they have to pay about $40,000 or $50,000 in taxes from 2 years.
If you keep procrastinating, bad things start happening. You're going to lose bank accounts, your paycheck's going to be garnished, they're going to take your business account. And dealing with the IRS, in a larger case, especially if you don't have the money to pay it, or you don't know why you owe the money, you really need to take action. You need somebody to do it for you.
My name is Marcos Acosta. I'm the owner of X Pest Control Masters. I received a call from the IRS one day, and they started asking me for documentation. They asked me questions, my expenses, what I own, a lot of things about the company.
When Marcos first came to see me, he had already started going through the audit with the IRS examiner prior to that. She had sent him a first letter back, basically saying, what you sent me isn't good enough. We're still going to assess you all these taxes anyways.
I tried to answer the more I can. It was like a bomb to me. Where I gonna make the money, where I gonna get the money, no idea. So I ran to the person who do my taxes, and he recommended Bill.
He was very nervous. He didn't know what he was doing. He thought he had done everything the IRS had asked him to do, and it wasn't good enough. Marcos got into this situation for two reasons. The first reason, which is the most common reason, is he's self-employed. He's a sole member LLC, treated as a Schedule C. So he had income coming in. It was a new business that he had started maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
When I talked to Bill, I kind of down a little bit, but still, you don't know what's gonna happen. The good thing, he helped me like right away. He asked me for some information.
He didn't pay his estimated tax payments. So every quarter, based on your income, you're supposed to make estimated tax payments because you're not having taxes withheld from your paycheck. So at the end of the year, if you don't pay that, you incur additional penalties, interest. He was doing it kind of backwards, where he had set up a payment agreement for these back taxes and not paying his current taxes. Nothing nefarious or anything of that nature, just not understanding tax law and not understanding what is deductible as a business and what is not deductible as a business. And then poor record keeping, which is very common. It's just something that happens.
He told me what exactly I need, give me some guidelines to what I sent to him, or what the IRS need. He helped me with a good recommendation, the GPS, to record the miles, because the IRS didn't want to recognize all the gas I use for work.
He's in the pest control business, and he has clients all throughout the district, Maryland, Virginia, and it's a very big area, that area that he services. He goes all the way over to Ocean City, Maryland, which is a good 2.5, 3 hours away to service some of his clients. He did not keep good auto expense records. So he had a very large auto expense on his tax return, but he had nothing to back it up to try to prove to the IRS that he actually did incur all these business miles. We had to kind of back into the number and convince them that he may not have records, but clearly he doesn't do it from home.
The communication was great. He's easygoing. It's not like I'm talking to a business guy. They have to be very serious. He tell you like a friend, tell you, hey, you have to do this, this, and this.
You have to go to where the pests are in order to treat the pest problem. So they come back and say, yes, but you're still required to keep records. So through recreating records from mechanics bills, oil changes, stuff like that, we were able to back into at least a reasonably defensible mileage number.
Every time I call, he answered the phone, or just call me back in a few minutes, same thing with the emails. So that was more easy for me.
These things take a lot of time and effort. Had he gone through the audit, not answered the auditor, he would have been assessed the additional $50,000 or $60,000. If he would have continued to ignore that, then eventually they might have taken his bank accounts, his business assets, his personal assets, any of those items. Because the auditor with the IRS was getting ready to close their case.
He was really helpful because it's like you have a backpack full of stuff and you just take it out off.
So it's a matter of straightening all that out and bringing everything to light for the IRS and making them understand exactly what had happened and getting them to buy into it. In the end, we got it down to probably 70% less or something along those lines, which he was happy with. You still got to pay it, but in his case, it was significantly better than when he came in. But because he was proactive, he was able to avoid all that. We were able to completely avoid any federal tax lien. His credit isn't hurt. His business credit isn't hurt. If he wants to grow his business, he's not going to have that hanging out there. In a pest control business, you can't be doing this stuff on top of trying to run your business and make money, especially when you don't know what you're doing. So I think a lot of the reason that he came is not only for the expertise, but also just, I need this off my plate so I can concentrate on my business. Ultimately, that's going to get me out of whatever the outcome is making more money so that I could take care of whatever the issue is, instead of spending hours and hours and hours dealing with this and neglecting my business.
It was a good relief. It was really nice. Helps a lot and release myself so I can focus more on my business.
So it's having a professional that is experienced and knows what the IRS can and can't do and has seen this problem for the last 30 years